two drones on the same Amazon page. One is $80, the other is $300. Both claim 4K GPS return to home. The price difference is 900%. What are you really paying for? This video answers that, with physics, with FAA data, and zero affiliate links in the way. There are 5 real technical differences between these two drones, and 3 never show up in the published specs. We're covering motors, gimbal, video transmission, sensor size, and software. By the end, you'll know exactly when the $80 drone makes sense, and when it's an expensive trap disguised as a deal. Holystone, Ruko, Potensic, real companies behind generic branding. Holystone is Shenzhen Holyton Technology Co. Over 2 million units sold in the US by 2022. The Potensic ATOM SE weighs exactly 249 grams, 1 gram below the FAA registration threshold. Not an accident. Same target as the DJI Mini 3. These are precision market engineering decisions. If you've ever bought a drone based on a YouTube review without knowing the creator had an affiliate link paid per sale, hit like right now. This video has none of that. And if you want more analysis like this with no commission in the way, subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started. The first real difference is the motor. $80 drones use brushed motors, physical contact brushes that wear down. DJI and premium drones use brushless. IEEE research is clear. Brushed motors last 50 to 150 flight hours. Brushless hit 1,000 or more. Fly 30 minutes a week and a brushed motor dies in months. Brushless lasts years. The $80 drone stops being cheap once you calculate real cost per hour. EIS crops 10 to 15% of the frame to compensate for vibration. You lose field of view, and sharp wind movement still gets through. A mechanical 3-axis gimbal stabilizes the hardware physically. No crop, no resolution loss. Most $80 drones use EIS. When one advertises a mechanical gimbal, ask, at what cost? A quality gimbal runs $15 to $30 in components alone. Check reviews with actual footage before buying anything that makes that claim. DJI uses OcuSync, a proprietary protocol built to hold stable connection under radio frequency interference. Budget drones use standard Wi-Fi. In lab conditions, both hit their advertised range. In real conditions, urban parks, crowded events, nearby routers, Wi-Fi drops between 1 and 300 meters. OcuSync holds up to 10 kilometers in clear line of sight. The Ruko's 9,800 feet isn't a lie. It's a truth that only works in conditions that almost never exist. 4K appears on $80 drones and $3,000 drones. Without sensor context, that number means nothing. Budget drones use quarter-inch sensors or smaller. The DJI Mini 3 Pro uses a 1.3-inch sensor, 3 to 4 times more light capture area. That's physics, not software. In good midday light, both produce acceptable footage. At dawn, in shade or variable light, the smaller sensor produces noisy, washed-out, or unusable images. For casual content, maybe fine. For any real standard, it's not. The DJI Fly app offers over 40 intelligent flight modes: active track, hyperlapse, panorama, quick shots. Generic apps deliver 3 to 5. For content creators, the software is half the product. A functional active track saves hours of editing and enables solo shots that would need a second operator. No $80 drone has subject tracking that works in real conditions. That's not in the specs, it's in the reviews. The $80 drone doesn't actually cost $80. Add a spare battery, a case, and replacement propellers. You're at $120. Useful life, 6 to 18 months. Real annual cost, $80 to $240. The DJI Mini 2 SE runs about $380 in year 1, but lasts 3 to 5 years. Real annual cost, $76 to $127. Fly it regularly, and the Mini 2 SE can actually cost less per year. The right decision depends on your usage frequency, not the price on the screen. We've covered the 5 real technical differences, and the numbers the industry prefers you never calculate. If this approach works for you, subscribe now. The next video goes deep on the real costs of starting to make money with drones in 2024. In November 2021, the U.S. Department of Defense added DJI to the entity list. Chinese companies considered national security threats, not banned for civilian use, only federal contracts. But here's what nobody connects. Holystone, Ruko, Potensic, the cheap Amazon drone brands, operate from the same Shenzhen factories supplying DJI's component chain. The parts come from the same suppliers. Those names just aren't famous enough to be regulated. In 2022, the FTC issued formal warnings about inflated camera specs and electronics sold on Amazon, including drones. The problem? A 4K label on an $80 drone usually refers to output file resolution, not native sensor resolution. The sensor may be 1080p. The processor interpolates the signal up. The result looks worse than real native 1080p. You're buying the number, not the quality. Drones over 250 grams require mandatory FAA registration. Flying unregistered, up to $27,500 civil, $250,000 criminal. Many cheap Amazon drones exceed that threshold, but listings don't make it obvious. The Potensic ATOM SE was engineered specifically under it. Verify weight and remote ID compliance before buying, required since March 2024. Several entry-level models don't have it. Generic drone models average an 18-month life cycle. When discontinued, parts vanish. Propellers aren't standardized across models. DJI keeps parts available 3 to 5 years post-discontinuation. Unique collapsed between 2018 and 2020, leaving thousands of operators without firmware support. An $80 manufacturer with no U.S. presence has no legal obligation to match that. Of the 10 top drone listings on Amazon USA in 2023, 6 were from third-party sellers with no U.S. presence. Warranty resolution rate, 45% for third-party sellers versus 92% for established brands. Before buying, verify who the actual seller is. Fulfilled by Amazon means stored in their warehouse, not sold by them. Post-purchase support can be radically different. 5 situations make the cheap drone the right call. First, learning to fly before risking $500 on crashes. Second, a gift for a teenager wanting to experiment. Third, travel backup where confiscation is possible. Fourth, casual filming in good light. Fifth, fewer than 6 sessions per year. The problem isn't the $80 drone. The problem is buying it thinking it's the $500 one. For anyone flying regularly, the DJI Mini 2 SE at $299 is the verifiable sweet spot. Real estate agencies pay $150 to $300 per aerial session. 2 sessions cover the drone. Roof inspections cost up to $400 professionally. Content creation meets real monetization standards. Basic mapping runs on Drone Deploy's free tier. Launched in January 2023. It's DJI's official answer to the cheap clones. King Gillette invented the razor and blades model in 1904. Sell the razor cheap, profit on consumables. DJI runs the modern version, batteries at $79, production cost under $15, care refresh at $129 a year. Each generation's battery is incompatible with the last. The $80 drone is disposable by design. The $500 DJI is disposable by strategy.